Hi, welcome. It's Jerry again, and we're back with another C# training. We're kind of done with the basic operations, and now we're going to some functional programming. So we're going to learn some conditional statements and some loops, and this will allow us to actually make our program gain some more uh, I don't know, functionality, right? Okay, so let's just jump straight into it. So I'm going to create a new project because, well, there was a lot of things that we did earlier. Conditionals and loops. Let's just call this as such. And again, we're going to set that as a startup project so that we can work with it and move our Solution Explorer out of the view so that we can have everything in one screen. Okay, so first of all, let's start with the conditional statement. Conditional statement. Now, a conditional statement, if we would describe it, is it's like a split in the road. So you can take either one way or another. So, and then you have to choose to go either one way or another. And how it looks like, well, maybe I'll show you a quick block diagram. Give me a second. Okay, so I drew a simple diagram. So our code runs, and then goes into a crossroad, well, split in the road, and then it has some kind of condition, right? So I like to call it a question that can be answered either true or false. And then the execution of the program, so the path that the program takes is either one way or another. Right, so it's either one or the other. So that's how I tend to imagine how this conditional statement works. So yeah, so a conditional statement contains a decision, which is a kind of a question that can be answered true or false. Right? And okay, let's just get a variable int a equal 12. Very simple, right? And then the conditional statement looks like this. So we say if a is greater than 10, for example, one thing happens, else something else happens, right? So here we have the decision or condition, right? True block, and then the false block. Right, so something like this. So if you compare that to our diagram, like this, right, then here we have the decision, the condition, right, and then the true block, so one way, and this, everything, all the code that is here will be executed, and then the false block, and everything that is here will be executed. So let's write some more code, and let me just do it faster. And by the magic of pausing the video, I have created the code. So I have declared a, right, and we have just the value of a written. Then I just write a simple question that would just imitate the condition, so that if we run the program, then we'll see that. And well, then there is an answer for the question, So if it's true, then the program will say, yep, that's true. Yeah, and if it's false, then it'll say, yep, that's false. Well, no, that's false, actually. And then finally, we'll write out the actual text representation of the expression a greater than 2, which will be probably true or false, because within the condition, we can put a value that is either true or false. Let's run the program. And here we go. We have a is equal 12. Is a greater than 10? That's true. A greater than 10 equals true, right? So yes, a is greater than 10. That's very cool. So now let's make our program a bit more let's say more cool, right? So we'll add some user interaction. Okay, so I've extended the code. So first of all, here I'm asking the user for a number. Ask the user for a number. Now here, just not going into details, I'm trying to parse whatever the user entered. So if I take this read line, and we'll see that in a second. I'll make a simpler example. I just want to show you this conditional statement here. So this read line will just takes whatever the user writes, and it takes the whole line. So it will take whatever the user writes until the user hits enter, right? And then tries to make it into a number. So if it contains digits, then it will try to make it into a number. It has to be a whole number, right? So it has to be an integer. It can't be a float. So it will, if it contains a dot or any other character that is not a number, then this function will return false, because as you can see here, it's boolean int try parse, right? So bool means that we'll get a true false result, right? So if it's true, so this means that when this returns true, then it succeeded parsing the number, and the number will be put into our variable a. And for now, just don't ask why do we have this out here. You just have to put it there. Just assume you have to put it there for it to work. But then the function, if it succeeds, it will put that value into our a, right? And then we can use the value that the user entered. And then here's the code that we had previously. So it will print out a and then print out everything that we did earlier, right? And if it does not succeed, right? So this is another piece of code. If the user enters something incorrect, then, well, our program will say, like, the enter value is not a number, and we'll end the execution. So the user needs to enter any key, right? Okay, so let's run the program. Oh, please enter a number, 5. Okay, and you can see, like, okay, 5. A equals 5. Is a greater than 10? That is false. A greater than 10, false, right? Okay, let's run it again, and I'll put like 64. 64 is a is equal 64. Is a greater than 10? That is true. A is greater than 10 equals true. Okay, and let's get another one. So now I'm going to enter like Jerry. My name's Jerry, right? The entered value is not a number. So I hope you understand what's going on here. I will just show you another one, just using the console read line. Maybe I should have done it in the beginning, but okay, well, just trying to do it on the fly and have some small notes, but well, yeah, more or less that's how I do it. Okay, so that's how it works, right? So let's just quickly comment everything here until the read key. right? And let's just see how the read line works. So the console read line, right? If you read, let's just maybe hit F1 and get some reference from MSDN. Okay, here's some reference. So reads the next line of characters from the standard input stream, which for our example is the keyboard, and well, the user will enter everything from the keyboard. And somewhere here, yeah, a return value, it's string, right? System string. So it's returning a string, right? So that's what we need to know. So whenever we want the user to actually write something, then we'll get a string. So I'll copy this line. So please, we'll just say please write something. So please write something, right? And then we'll have string user input, right? And then read line will just populate the user input, something like this. And then we'll just say console write, and you wrote user input. So what we do here, come on, start working. Yep, thank you. What we'll do here is create some kind of a parrot. So you write something and then you get it back, right? So please write something, hello, and you wrote hello, right? So whatever you write there, we can put some more text. So here is some more text, right? So it will copy everything, right? Some numbers and some tags, right? Some more numbers, some more tags, right? And just copies everything. So you get the whole line of the user input. And actually it might be more, you know, because if we get, come on, more. I want more. Just imagine that this is actually, oh, come on. No more? Oh, that sucks. I can't write more. Oh, that sucks. Too bad for you. Whatever. Yeah, so it remembers. This might be because of my console settings, which are probably somewhere here. And then layout. And yeah, I think I can only put like 120 chars there. So yeah, maybe that's why. So this might have been 120 chars. Yeah, so that's how read line works. So you get a string value, right, that the user wrote, right, and then well, you can do whatever you want with it, right? So just to jumping into that example, so this is our user input. We'll actually let's just make it user input, right? And then I'll comment this out as well. And then numeric conversion, int, string to int, right? So if you have a string number like 34, right? You can try to parse it, right? And then actually there are two ways of doing that. One is a way that might crash your program, and the other one is a way to distinguish whether or not this parsing succeeded or not. So let me show you both first, right? So we have this parsed value, right? And then the first one is just, okay, you just say parse is equal int, and then parse, right? And then number, come on, number, I'm saying number, come on, yeah. So like this, great. And then you can say console write line parsed is equal to, and then parsed, right? Something like this. Okay, so when we write this, and you say, see, okay, parsed is 24, but if you run this program and say here like Jerry, right, which I did in the beginning, the program will get this unhandled exception type of format exception. Input string was not in a correct format. This means that, okay, well, unfortunately, this thing here, Jerry, well, it's not a number, so you can't parse it, right? And this is how your program would crash in Visual Studio. And then, if we go to our program, actually in where to our binary, so we run. If you gave it to a user and you wanted to run it, then it will crash like this. And then input string was not in the correct format, and then you get this cool crash. And you'll see some more information about this unhandled exception and stuff. So your program just crashes, and it doesn't do anything, right? So this is one way of parsing a variable. If you're really sure that this text is actually a number, then you can just go on and go like saying parse. But if you're not sure, because it might be some user input, then you should usually do something like this. So you should do like int, then try parse. So try to parse, and try parse, as you can see, returns bool, right? And this bool value, if we go to the MSDN reference, maybe they will say actually what's the return value here. Come on, please. Yep. Okay, so converts the string representation of a number to its 32-bit signed integer, right? So it converts it to an integer, right? The return value indicates whether the operation succeeded, right? So the return value, the boolean return value, tells you whether you converted the number or not, right? And there is also this. Okay, let's just go with this one. Try parse with this, and see you need this. Okay, as string, right, and then out int result, right, and the result. You can see this out value, so it really needs this out value, and I think there is an example here. Blah 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 blah. Int try parse value and then out number. See, value is something, and then you have this out number. You can probably copy this example and then see how it works and so on. You just probably need to put like from here. That'll be till here. So somewhere after this line, you should put the console read key so that you can see actually what was the result of this this program, because then it will just blink and you wouldn't see anything, right? So yeah, but the idea here is the same as in what I did in our small program down here. Okay, so let's write the try parse again. So we want to try parse the number, so whatever is here within this variable, right? And then we want to put that value, if the operation succeeds, to our parsed value. So parse like this, okay. And now, now we're still probably going to crash somewhere here, because the value parsed is not yet declared, but it probably will be 0. Well, I don't know, I don't remember. But let's just test this. Yeah, it's 0. So when we don't assign a variable, it still has some kind of value, but well, for us it would be good to actually define that variable. And of course here I am not using this bool because I'm just trying to parse this value. So if it's like 15, then it's correct, right? And then if it's Jerry, and it's just incorrect, right? It's one thing, but I could use this, right? So I could say like, okay, if this operation succeeds, then write this value, and on the other hand, if it does not succeed, then write console, write line, and then this is not a number, right? Okay, very cool. So here are two conditional statements, right? That you have, and you can play around with this. So I'm going to wrap up this video, and we're going to loops in a second. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Cheers.